some point, see if we can like rearrange some shit for it. But yeah, it's one of those things. I haven't used it for so fucking long. Somebody talked about it the other day and I actually went and had a look at it because I didn't know what it was, you know? And I'm like, it's been so long since I've seen it. It's literally like the Rose from Titanic meme. It's like been 86 years, you know? I see you, Keelan. Welcome back. Yeah, it's been 86 years since I've obviously needed to see it, you know. Hey, Joxer, how you doing? What? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Thank you for the biddies and the flower. Thank you. Might have a bit of my drink. What are you up to, Joxer? It's good timing on that hydrate. That was really good timing. I was actively doing the thing and stretch. Oh man. Yesterday, I stretched after stream and I was like, holy crap, my shoulders were just like solid. I hadn't really moved them all night. And yeah, because it was like the 8-hour stream instead of 4, it was kind of like, you know, it was a bit like tender. Hey, body bag. The Holy Colonist number, so many pawns. So yeah, about that. Welcome in. I'm doing a Billathon event for a week and everybody's spawning in their colonists and stuff using Rimconnect and stuff. This is not my main colony. My main colony has got 300 plus colonists in core game. So this is a side quest that we're doing at the moment. So by all means, if you like this colony, if it's interesting and stuff, I would recommend hanging around because next Tuesday, next week, this day next week, you'll see my normal colony will be back on screen and shit. So yeah, most people refer to the fact that you can't see the colonists on the colonist bar. It's about 3 rows deep and it's kind of about the size of each colonist image is about the size of one of these little squares, you know? So yeah, that one's been going for a while and stuff, and it's got some time left to go. This is just a special event that I'm doing. I'm trying to build up a colony and defense, and we're trying to build a ship and get off planet. So that's what I'm doing on this one. You know, I realized that if I move this over and I end up putting the ship here, we could defend it as a central thing, you know? So I might do that. I might end up moving the hospital over on the sides and we'll work with that maybe. Because I don't know how big the ship is. I haven't got any of the parts yet to map out like how big it is. So I assume it's going to maybe fit in here, kind of. We'll see how we go. So also trying out Overwatch 2 for the first time in forever. But only for a friend. Oh yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one that collect them like Pokemon. Although I usually restart around 80. Oh yeah. Well, 80 is still like more than like most people kind of like roll with. Most people kind of have like around about 20 to 50 at the most kind of thing. And then anything that's like in the 50 to 100 and stuff is kind of like the high range kind of colony, realistically. Mine's just in like colossal. Mine's just basically a state at this point, you know. But yeah, it's been going for a couple of years, and I'm trying to get to a landed ship quest. It's across the map. This is the last location I was at. That was the my colony of Asura and stuff. So yeah, we're still moving. I don't have a picture up of the current location, but you'll see it next week. But yeah, I don't take any slaves or anything like that. Like, I try to keep all my colonists like good and stuff. I just yeah, I try to what do you call them? I try to realistically like only take the ones that I want, but if somebody's down in battle and they're not super loyal, I'll take them with me, you know? So I'm not gonna not. I might map out this room and I might move it over if that's the case, since we want to move this and we want to put something else. We want to put the ship here if we can fit it later. I have no clue how how big it is. So I'm just going to like rough it out kind of thing. Oops, I kind of removed the extra bit there. Kind of have to DLML. I play Overwatch 2, where Winds Meet, and they do Final Fantasy 14. Oh yeah. I haven't played either, but I know people that play both. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like one or the other. I sort of feel like, hold on, I need to like remove that. Joshu, fucking mate, hang on a ticket. Look, I'm not going to try to kill you, but mate, get the fuck off that. Just because you're like missing some fucking ambrosia, mate. Get the fuck off it. I didn't realize he was destroying that. We need that. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to enclose that fucking thing probably. Just to keep it safe. Alright, he's going to need a gun back later. Oh, man. Is there I've pulled to one side by friends asking why I'd have so many. Oh no, I'm picky. I won't take all pawns. If they're non-violent, caring, or firefighting, out they go. So I don't really have a problem with taking whatever. I also think Twitch is trying to push an ad. Hold on, dismiss that shit. So I kind of figure that colonists will be able to do something, right? If they're a pacifist, they're not going to leave the base. They're not going to fight. They can do cooking or like plants, animals. I have a fuck ton of animals in Asura. We nearly had 1,000 at one point. It got really close. And yeah, everybody gets a task. If they can't do like dumb labor stuff, they'll do something else. Like for instance, this person can't do like much. So they're told to do just about everything except for medical. Firefighters, perfectly okay. I'm not a fan of, what do you call it? The chemical interest, chemical fascination, whatever it is. That one is some effort, honestly. It can be a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with that. So normally I kind of whittle them down, but what I'd normally do is with like the health stuff, the more somebody does like major tantrums like slaughterer, berserk, stuff like that, no matter what it is, I will eventually like revoke their health privileges up a stage for each consecutive attack and severity and stuff. So eventually they'll end up with no medical care, and when they do go into battle or they do have a tantrum or do something and get harmed, they can't get like helped. So then they end up just dying off. So that ends up helping me a fair bit because I weed out the shit colonists and I end up with like a really happy, harmonious colony. And that's been working really well. I also probably should have put a door on that side, I guess. We'll put a door on that side. But yeah, I used to kind of like not really weed out my colonists and stuff. But honestly, it's been more of an issue. Oh my god, it's finally clear in here. I can finally see the goddamn ground. Oh, that took a hot minute. Yeah, I normally used to just like leave them and I'd just keep stacking up additional work for whoever to try to do. But it would eventually like, they'd get beaten up to a point that like they need surgeries, they need parts and stuff like that. Like I have a colonist called Farrell in my main game that's like, he's essentially very, very slow moving. And I think he's got something is like super broken in him. And I don't want to replace anything. I don't want to repair him. I'd need to use a healing mecha serum on him to fix it, whatever it was. And I don't want to. And he's constantly tantruming because it takes him like forever to get anywhere. Because like if you have a look at like the size of my like layouts and stuff, it's usually pretty fucking spread out, right? So it takes him a while to get to like the food and the recreation and all that crap kind of stuff. And yeah, I just kind of like give him a nice room. And if he happens to do something in the day, so be it. But like in that colony, I've got like 30 to 50 people that can do anything. Like there's 30 to 50 people that can just go and plant and harvest. And then there's like, you know, probably 20 people that can do cleaning. I have like hundreds of animals that can do hauling. So none of my people really have to waste time hauling shit. In this place, everybody has to kind of carry their weight because we just don't have enough people to really do that. So there's also a lot of people that have got a lot of ones and twos and stuff, and I can't do too much about that. Also, how did I not save this? I thought I allocated you, but it's fine. Yeah, some of these I've had, like, their skills are very, very high up, like a 1 on a 6, for instance. And I'm like, I wouldn't only have 1 on a 6, but I need her able to do stuff at any given point in time, and she can have a crunchy skill. Plus, there's like a couple of people like this where like they have a lot of really high ones, like a lot of 9s and stuff. And I'm like, I won't make them do hauling or cleaning. I want them to kind of focus on if any one of these things are available. Like if I have a prisoner, or if there's a cooking bench free, or if there's like construction or hunting, you know, I'm not always going to have that available. Like at the moment, we have got some wildlife. Somebody can go hunt. Somebody will go hunt. But I haven't got anything allocated otherwise. So, yeah, they will just... Somebody will be with that bear shortly, you know? Whereas, like, same with the cooking benches and stuff. Like, I have, like... I think it's, like, 20-something cooking benches in that colony. And they are almost always being used day and night and stuff, you know? There's always... Even the most unusable colonist is still super usable. Also, I'm pretty sure Twitch is pushing the ad now, so you guys got time to hang out and lurk. I'm pretty sure you still get silver while you lurk in the ads, so that shouldn't prevent you from getting points and stuff to be able to spawn in stuff. Also, these need to be harvested. Maybe run... Oh no, that was a good shot. Fuck yeah, good on you. You can have a meal for that. That was a good shot. That bear had like 1 shot left. I also want to pop this Ancient Danger, and I want to see what's in it. And we do have a lot of colonists here, so maybe we'd be alright, you know. My mind imploded. I realized that I play RimWorld like an ape. Nah, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, every colonist has got skills for sure, but even if they're like incapable of doing something or lacking something, they're not useless. You know, I do have like, where is my scene? I know you're going to get ads in a second, so just let me know if you're on an ad and I'll fill you in again later. I don't know if I sent my scene out or if she's just lurking around, but her, like, she's got shit skills, but she can do cleaning and hauling. So even though she can't do anything else, she will be constantly cleaning and hauling around this place because she probably can't really gain skills unless somebody gives her like a skill trainer. Could you imagine if one of you guys just like bombard her with fucking skill trainers and then she's suddenly like the best colonist? It's the worst my scene ever, and then she becomes like the best, and it's like she's the worst best, you know. Anyway, but yeah, you can kind of fuck around with that with Rimconnect, because obviously, like, yeah, you can just spawn shit in and like change stuff up so fast. Also, I must need more marble. I guess somebody is working on that. I do want to move this bench out. This room's nearly finished. I could use this for something. Let's go have a look at production benches again. What are we going? Machining? I don't think I have one of them up yet. Workstation for assembling machinery like guns, ammunition, breaking down dead mechanoids. I might have made one of those actually. That one's for non-mechanical weapons and tools. No, actually, hold on. I will make one of these. I kind of feel like that would be better. These rooms are like just barely too small. I made them to be bedrooms, but I can absolutely halve these rooms again and like put doors here. Right, I could put the doors on the side and just enclose this, and we would immediately have like twice as many double bedrooms if I really needed it. Which, speaking of, I don't see the couples in here. So, who was it? Was it you who has a girlfriend? No. It's another dude with a beard, I think. They've all changed their outfits now, so none of them look the same. Sorry. Maybe? Okay. I'm gonna have to find out who's in a relationship again, because I've changed everybody's clothing and somebody's not sleeping with their partner. I have... Oh no, hold on. There we go. Settler settler may, I don't know where you went to, but this bed, let's get you set up in the settler. Yeah, okay. And wherever the fuck settler is, I think there was like along here somewhere. Social settler, there you are. Where is your partner? Okay, so farmer. Okay. Farmer? Framer? Farmer? Fuck knows. Am I... you know what? I'm putting my fucking glasses on. Actually, important relationships must be a nightmare. Not really. In my big colony, I've got like only, I think, 20 odd couples, give or take. So even though there's like 300 plus, there's only like 20 of them are in a relationship. So I only need to have like the beds for that, as opposed to like this. Generally speaking, when you toss out the beds, like for instance, if I was to grab, say, I don't want that many rooms. I might squeak over a little bit. If I was to grab these 4 and I said, this is now a medical room, all of the colonists in this will find a new bed, right? So this should stay like inactive. If I was to grab every single bed right now and I said, everybody get the fuck out of bed, the couples should theoretically go and want to lay down in a double bed. It won't always happen, but sometimes it will. And that's kind of how you resolve your issue, because if one couple lays down and everybody else has been shucked out of their bed, they'll go and they'll lay in the bed with their partner and stuff. H20 damn, would assume more. Well, the only problem I've got is one of my colonists, Silverware, she's married, but she's got like 7 lovers and like at least like 1 or 2 dead lovers and stuff like that. And like, she's my only problem colonist for relationships, honestly, because all the rest are fine. All the rest kind of like, or mostly stay with their one partner. But as soon as she becomes lovers with a new person, like enters into a relationship with a new person, she immediately wants to move to their bed, and then her husband isn't getting loving, and all the people in a relationship with her aren't getting loving. Everybody's unhappy except for her, because she's the only one that's actually going to, going to at least one person to get loving and stuff. Healer needs this one. But yeah, it's not too much. But yeah, she's my only problem, realistically. Welcome in, Alex. Yeah, if it wasn't for her doing that shit, there would be probably at least 6 more colonists that weren't like upset, you know? You mean Jesus? I mean, like, it is a problem, but I just have to keep on notifications that pop up that are like, hey, you know, you've got new lovers. You know, when you get like, it pops up and it's like, new lovers. And I'm like, cool, that's fixing the bedding crisis. And then I go and have a look at it and it's like, Silverware's now in a relationship with blah. They wooed her and now they want to sleep together. And I'm like, fucking Silverware, where is your husband's bed? And then, you know, off we go to find where the fuck she was like sleeping previously. And yeah, that's basically what happens every single time. Is I'm like, out of the blue, I'll have to go and like find her partner and then chuck them back into like the correct like bed or whatever. I also used to have it in one of my colonies before I started streaming. My colony of Hatora. I had like 170 odd colonists in that, and they kind of, I had this one person called Tofu, and he would constantly just swap beds. Like, he'd start into a relationship and then he would be like, oh, cool, I'm just going to upgrade to this person's room. And as soon as he, like, ceased the relationship, because he was constantly, like, cheating and upgrading. So he would start a relationship and he would move into a double bed. And then he would start a relationship with somebody that had a better bedroom. And as soon as that, like, he'd move into her room, as soon as they broke up, she would get kicked out of her room. and then he'd take a new lover and he'd want to move into their room, and it just kept fucking happening until he got like the best room. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing in here? And where are my ladies that are supposed to be in these houses and stuff? And then I'd find the fucker, and I'm like, okay, I've found him. And yeah, it's just, oh my God, I don't know. And the shit that colonists do some days, like I'm kind of like used to it now. There's the solar. We haven't researched it. I'm kind of used to like what they sort of do, but at the same time, like I also am not generally paying that close attention anymore to them. There we go. I got that couple together. So now they should have both of them. You're playing a whack-a-mole, and Tofu is playing musical chairs. Well, the thing is, the place that he did it in is very similar to the first location that Asura was at, which was that place was called Salvation. You see all those little blue and white rooms, right? They're bedrooms, and the biggest ones of those were the ones that these specific ladies lived in, and all the other smaller, more cramped rooms was where like all my other colonists were. Like after like the original 4 people that I had, everybody else just got a room, right? So anyway, I just couldn't believe that he kept fucking upgrading and stealing the good rooms. And I decorated the crap out of their rooms, and I made them really, really nice and stuff. So they were like luxurious bedrooms and stuff. They probably would have been a little bit bigger than this kind of thing. They probably would have been maybe a smaller room than this, like by a square or 2 kind of thing, a little bit smaller than this. But the equivalent was like that versus that kind of size difference, you know? And yeah, he just fucking hated his room. I even gave him a really nice bed at one point. I'm like, maybe he just wants like a nice bed, because like the better quality of your bed it is, the faster they sleep, the more refreshed they are and crap. Anyway, that didn't matter. He kept just fucking upgrading and like breaking hearts. And there was this one dude, Dodsworth, that I had. Fucking poor Dodsworth. Nothing wrong with the poor bloke, but his wives just kept fucking leaving him. I'm like, this poor bloke. This guy's got like a whole fucking sob story going, you know? I just find it funny what RimWorld does sometimes, because it's like, why is this one colonist like having to go through this, and why is this other one colonist just being a douche, you know? So I had like a few maps where Tofu was crap, because I have EdB Prepare Carefully, and I try to bring my colonists, like I basically like take a screenshot of like their bio and stuff like that when I get them, and then I recreate them with that to like whatever they had, any kind of like health issues, whatever, and I bring them into my new games, new maps and stuff. And yeah, whenever I brought Tofu in, like more times than not, he's a douchebag. And I'm like, fucking Tofu's like this like chaos creature that's just scurrying around my base causing issues and crap. Whereas in Asura, he's actually like really good. Like he's like being the good one for once. And I'm like, this is interesting. Cause like when I brought in all the colonists for Asura, right, I really expected them to kill each other, because my previous colony of Nido, it lasted like 10 months before it just imploded. I had like 100 and something colonists there as well, and they hated each other. They hated each other from day one. They were just so ready to absolutely just kill each other from day one, and there was nothing I could fucking do about it. Whereas Asura, they don't hate each other, which means I can kind of maybe get them off the ground. I also wouldn't mind making some flagship, but I don't think I've got the components for it. Yeah, Nido was grounded from the beginning, and Asura kind of liked each other, and I could kind of go for like the landed ship quest, because it's not in like an ice sheet, although it is going to get colder the further up the map I go. The only problem is I haven't really dealt with like extreme cold. Where are you going, doggo? You're hauling wood. Very, very quickly. Okay. So, yeah. This is Silver's medical privileges are dangerously close to getting revoked for being a problem. Yeah, well, she hasn't had like anything specifically bad. Like, I'm still like really good with like my colonists and stuff, but I am on her now that I'm aware of it to try to keep her at least with her partner and stuff, because like the others will fall out of love eventually, or at least they kind of thought they used to, because she's still got like 7 fucking lovers and stuff, you know. But yeah, I kind of thought that like if they can't sleep together, eventually they get cranky and they break up, but it's not kind of happening with her, and it's kind of very interesting because I'm now just sort of waiting to see how long it takes, but she has so fucking many. As a man is a walking country song, he basically is. Like a whack-a-mole with Tofu's playing musical chairs. I mean, he's being something. And Tofu's not being that bad this time around. Plus, it's kind of nice not having Tofu in here, because I feel like a small colony like this, which by the way, you guys are welcome to like use silver to spawn yourself in as well. I feel like a small colony like this, he will absolutely just probably just set it on fire. The man would want to watch this place burn. Like, I've only had one person so far kind of go crazy. I think they ran wild, so we beat the shit out of them, stole their gear, and then they died. That's kind of been the only thing so far that's kind of happened. I might take the line out from here. I am also, like, still constructing shit in the background, by the way. But, yeah, if you want to see my regular colony and stuff, do expect that, like, it is a slower paced game than this. Because, like, this, I've kind of, like, got to get them to a point where we are established and stable before the end of the week, and maybe can take off by the end of the week. That would be cool. But, like, if it doesn't, this game will continue. By the way, if you guys unlock the thing that says, like, we continue this game later, and I've already, like, completed it, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'll figure something out. Just letting you guys know that up front. I don't have a plan for in case I've finished it. It wasn't really something that crossed my mind when I set up the Billathon. There was, like, a few things I didn't really think about. Like, I could have made it that you guys could have increased the silver, rate of silver, but I didn't think about that. Let's see, Lenza and Nishun making an observation about connection between life stresses and fate of mankind. That's overly realistic. As attracted now, wants to be a lover. Okay, let's try to get you to a double bed then. What's your name situation? Lenza Weaving. Okay, so let's get weaving up and in here, and then let's go. No, that weaving. There's only one weaving, right? No, get the fuck out of there. Okay, let's go find out who. There you are. Who your partner is, because I have so many. We have like a fleet of lenses in here, because he spawned like 20-ish. I think it spawned like 20-ish. Colonists in here on their own, so we have a lot of people with like the same name, which makes it a little bit difficult. What are you? You're a herder. Okay, well, let's get you set up for in here too. In here we only seem to have like 3 couples, or like 6 people in a relationship, so that's not too bad. I have 2 healers though, I see, which is a bit of a problem. Oh my god, did you see that? He scooched over. I've never seen a colonist scooch over. Ever. Holy shit. I didn't know that they could do that. That's like, I'm gonna have to replay that later. I'm gonna go back and have a look at that. It's, I know in the past, I didn't think they could either. Yeah, because he was laying here and then I saw him scooch over. And like, I know when you add the name and stuff, it'll usually add it to like one side or the other, but I clicked on this side again, and I wonder if I had clicked on the other side if he would have done it. That's kind of neat. Hey Zo, how you been? What are you up to? I didn't think they could. Yeah. Well, that was interesting. I've only got like 1 more couple's bed, and then I have to start dividing these rooms. Also, I'm trying to make these like cheese colored, like the theme of the Billathon. And I don't have cloth, and I realize that they're going to use cloth on the floors here when we eventually do harvest cloth, because I've got a bit of cloth. This is one of those things where, like, if I got, like, all crops grow, everything that's planted would just balloon. I do wonder if these would auto-grow, though. I have a lot of crops to go harvest, so I don't know if these are set to, like... I'm sure that my colonists will go and harvest them, but I'm just going to tell them to go harvest it. Eventually, this big crop area up here we're not going to have. And also, I do love the fact that these stayed scorched after that attack. That was neat. I also have additional guns and crap that my people could be bringing in, but they haven't yet. I wonder if I was to say, let's make a zone up here, and let's say don't have anything. My caravan's been ambushed. Don't allow anything, which should trigger them to want to take shit out of there. Marjot, hey? I could take you prisoner. I don't have anybody that's an 11 in medical, though. It's just that at the moment, taking prisoners is so much work. If you don't die, we'll consider it. Also, my usual game is like, I save